All right, hey guys, Jason here. What we're going to be talking about today is this right here, the Kodiak Canvas 10x10, and some setup changes, things I'm doing. Remember, I'm going to be gone for 30 days this year, and I'm seriously considering taking this tent, but I'm also seriously considering thinking about getting a 10x14 Kodiak, or maybe even a spring bar 10x14 classic jack. I haven't decided yet. Both of them look very promising. I obviously love the Kodiak, and I also want to try a spring bar. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna, or I may just stick with this 10x10 as it's gonna be just me in it, but I will be gone for 30 days. So having a little more room might not hurt me to have a little bit bigger one for that. But what we did here, notice something different on this tent, especially is what we got going on top. And I bought this for a reason, this specific reason. And if I bought a Kodiak 10x14, I would buy another one for this. I like this feature, and also the spring bar has this option, a little different kind of thing, but it also has one as well too. Offers a little more coverage, but it also is going to be a little more noisy. I'm not sure which way, like I said, I'm not quite sure which way I want to go if I do anything at all. Like I said, I'd be completely content using just this one. But what this is this is their rain cover, made by Kodiak Canvas. They just released this not too long ago, and you can see it fits on here pretty good. I watched a couple videos. They said even it takes 2 people to put it on over the top and get it to pull over the thing. No, it doesn't. I did it all by myself very easily. It was not hard at all. So don't let that scare you or fool you. It is not a hard one-person job. It was like I said, it was pretty simple. There's little pockets on the inside underneath here, little pockets right there that the end of your bars go into, right in there. And it was real simple, and then you got to kind of, it's a little of a struggle to pull it over the, the flex bow that's in there, but it was not hard to do. It was not hard to do. Again, one person was not that complicated. But you can see good quality to it. It's not super expensive. I can't remember. I want to say it was 130, 140 bucks, maybe something like that. I'm guessing, ballparking. I don't remember. But the main reason I wanted it is not so much for the rain proof, because this tent is 100% waterproof. I've spent so many nights in this tent and never had a drop of rain or water come into it, so I wasn't concerned about that. But what I am concerned about are 2 factors. One, UV resistance is a big one. Number 2 is guy out options. Okay, those are my 2 biggest factors to this and why I wanted it. The UV protection will protect the top of that tent for me, again, being set up for 30 straight days like that. I like that idea. It'll also keep any bird crap or sap or anything like that from trees or anything else from getting on top of my tent. It will also darken it up a little bit in there and maybe hold a little more heat between there as well too when I'm running a heater in there. So those were kind of some nice benefits. But you can notice here that I actually have it guyed out in 6 places. Right here comes from this one. It goes right down to the bottom stake down there. It does good. Hold that there. Now this one I added. They give you 3 on each side. 3 grommet points. 1 there, 1 right there, and 1 right there. So I could actually do 3 on this side. But I did the 4 corners. And I kind of pulled them out on an angle like this for the intent of being more wind resistant. Now this tent is also incredibly wind resistant and durable. This tent is a beast. Not that it needed it, but again, 30 days hitting places, Midwest states, wide open out there, wind blowing, sometimes 40, 50, 60 mile an hour gusts. I thought this would be a nice option to be able to just save some of the material of my tent from getting beat up too bad and things like that by having this on here and running 4 guy out points plus the 2 side pulls. So you can see I got them here on each side, coming off on an angle right here, right to that, guying this thing out, adding that strength. We got it coming right down here to this, going not to the pole, going to the stake below it. And then we got them right here, coming out this way, providing this guy out service on all 4 corners on the top of the tent, 6 corners holding the top of this tent stationary. It's going to help tremendously for bad winds. Now, I've also been experimenting. If you own one of these, you know how same with spring bar, same with Kodiak, the awning design sucks. The awning design just straight up sucks. They give you tall poles here so that a person can walk in here, obviously, because you want to be able to walk into your awning. Okay, we get that, understand it, but the awning mounting location is too low on there, and you only get 2 of them, and there's no grommet here where there should be. What happens is, if you have this with 2 poles staked up, it pools full of water, and water gets heavy on it, and it's weight on your tent, and it drips through the middle, and it sucks. It's pointless. So usually I just roll it up and not even mess with it. But here, I thought about something. Got a couple of options, and I like this one best. Now, what I did here is I got 1 10 stake going up, but since I got this guy line coming out, I also am using the same one to guy line off this tent pole. So that tent pole is staying right there. Then I'm not using a tent pole here, a support pole here, and just using a carabiner with a guy line to this same guy line pole. And what that gives me is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm really digging this. So what I get by doing it this way, we'll talk about that clip in a minute. But what I get is I get easy access in. I can walk right here, right underneath this guy line and come right inside the tent. Perfect setup. Amazing tent. We love this tent. We love everything about it. But I have this ability to come in through here and have it held up high where I need it. But notice this angle comes down. I can put my shoes, boots, gear under here, and it's going to stay bone dry because we have all of this surface area here, and I got plenty of room. If they're both up, water or rain can come into this from all the way around and get your stuff wet here. This is protecting it much better. As we look at this, that whole side is now very well protected as a place to be able to put things outside, and I have complete water runoff. Water is going to run right down this point, so I don't have to worry about this thing pooling up on me if rain comes in while I'm out hunting and I got the awning up, or roll it up, pull it out, whatever I want. I can leave it like this. This also adds 2 more points of guy out surface to my tent. One right here, one right there, pulling from the seam up there and helping with rigidity on there. So it's a beautiful thing. So I'm real happy with that. And like I said, this side, still easy to access. I can come in right through there, or I can come in right next to the pole right here, just like you would on it any other time, and walk right in. So I have that ability in and out of there pretty perfect. So I think that's how I'm going to run it. I used to run it with the tent poles kicked down and tucked into there, and then what that would do is then it was just too low and you had to fight your way in under it, and it worked, but it wasn't great. I think I like this system a lot better here. Now, I did also experiment with taking one of these clips. Okay, this is just a clip right here like this. They come when you buy a pack of bungees. I got like a dozen of them. They're just a simple clip, but putting that on here and spreading that open and just letting it bite onto this canvas, then you just slide this forward, hold on, and it clicks. Okay, you just push this forward and it clicks on there and it bites. Okay, that's how this works. I need 2 hands to do it, but it just clicks and bites. But notice it's got a hole big enough in here that we could fit that pole right through there. See that? So I could, with using this, very simply, anytime I want to, add a grommet on here. This is, like I said, kind of tricky to do one-handed. We're just going to put it on there and let it sit for right now for a minute. But I can put that on there, and then I could run this tent pole here and drop down both guy out points if I wanted to on both sides. I actually like this better because it gives a lot better protection for any gear that's under there. But I did try it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it into my kit over there, right over here where all my stuff is, so that I have it as a luxury and an option if I want to use it. But that's basically our change setup on here. And if, like I said, if I get a 10x14 version of this or a spring bar, I will do the exact same setup with this, same kind of concept. I'm so tired of little wimpy hammers and fighting with them all the time that I'm bringing a bigger one with me now. I've had it forever. This is actually I cut the back of it off. I might even bring the one that has the back on it for the stakes. Actually, I'm gonna. Let me show you the difference here. But this is a trapper hammer, and they're only like 20 bucks. But you get it from trapping supply stores. I have 2 of them. This one I cut off a long time ago. Let me bring you in here and show you. But if we look at this, here's this one. And then here's the one that's not cut off. And I might actually take this one. You can see it right here. I don't remember what they call it, like a groundhog or something, but it's got this blade on the back. I might actually take this one with me in my trailer, and then I can use that for pulling the stakes out. Hook that right under the stake and pop the stake up and pull the stakes out with. So this one here might very well be going in my trailer as a dedicated, we'll try that when I go to pull this out. We're going to try this for yanking stakes out when it's time. But that's something that, like I said, this versus these little hammers right here like this take forever. Look at the difference in that. And I promise you, much better to do than that is. So that's kind of the system. We're just dialing things in. Like I said, I know we got a little while till hunting season, but I also, living down here in Georgia with the humidity, I make a point about every 3 months to pull this canvas tent out. And I did the same with my wall tent, which is also one of the reasons I sold my wall tent. It was a pain in the butt to do because it takes so much to set up. You can set this thing up You know, technically you can pop the tent up in 5 minutes, but realistically you're probably looking at 15 minutes. And 15 minutes, so you have a complete camp set up like this, everything done and all good. So it's not too bad at all. And that would be staking out every stake point. So it's a beautiful setup and a great system. But I do this about every 3 months. I pull them out and I let them air out, just because we are humid down here and I don't want any mold or mildew or anything like that on them. So that's what I'm doing. Letting it air out, and I'm just checking everything out. And I wanted to test out my new Rainfly, build my guy lines. These are Amazon guy lines. I'll link them below. I use them a lot. I got a bunch of them, but they're reflective as well too. So at night they reflect. These are the guy lines that come with the Kodiak canvas stuff. These are the ones that came with this Rainfly. These are the ones that came with my awning on here. So like I said, nothing crazy, but just some points for you. But I love this tent. This tent's amazing. I'll link a review at the end of it that shows you the whole thing inside and out that I've done before. But with this being, you know, last year when I did those, when I did that 24 days or whatever it was, 23 or 24 days last year, I was in a wall tent by myself. I got tired of setting that wall tent up and taking it down, setting it up and taking it down over 3 different states. This system, this Flexbow system, is much better. I sold that wall tent for $1,000 and used it for, what, 9 years? I loved it. We already own this one, but since I do have that $1,000 sitting there burning a hole in a tent fund, I very well might opt for a 10x14 just to give me a little more space in there, just for the heck of it, to be able to put more gear, put more tables again. And if I decide not to, this one will do absolutely fine. So we shall see how that goes and what happens. But I do believe that this rain cover that Kodiak's got on here, I think this is a gold mine. And we still get airflow through there. It goes over the top bar. I'm a short guy, so I probably can't show you, but you get airflow all the way up through there. It goes up, it's over the top bar. So you have total airflow through it on the inside there too. And what else it does is it lets me leave these side windows open as vents and not worry about nothing. See how far down this comes? I can leave these completely open and vented here like that and have that access without worrying about any rain getting in there too, which is a nice feature. I can also do the same when I run this awning this way, because now I can close my door off completely because this is so open and exposed here on this side that rain could get in there. I could open, but I can vent the top half. But look I can vent this whole door. I could open this whole entire door 100% and not worry about any air or rain getting in there because of the way that this drop down is. With that cover in that, like that does a fantastic job. So like I said, I'm pretty stoked about this particular setup. I think it's how we're going to be running this tent. So questions, comments, anything you got, put them down below. Thanks for watching.